program. With the beauty and wilderness of the Adirondack Mountains of New York as her muse, Martha Gallagher creates a vibrant, living tapestry of song, story, and in-the-moment inspirations. With two voices, her own voice and that of her unique orphan harp, she infuses this one-woman show with artistry, compassion for her Adirondack surroundings, spontaneous sense of humor, and a delight in the wonders of nature. Martha sings songs of everyday life in the Adirondacks. I bring you the Adirondack Harper, Martha Gallagher.
Oh, really? Is that the best you can do? Nonetheless. You're going to do, oh, she can bring lights up. That'd be great. So until then. So I left the Adirondacks this morning. I live in Keene. So imagine, the morning was kind of cool this morning. Cloudy, misty. I love the mountains and the mist. I waited for the sun to rise. I can just see it from my bed as it comes over the hill. But it was a gray day. Here dawns another glorious day, full of sunshine. Not until I got to Rochester. A radiant gray clouds. Here dawns another glorious day. The flow of life goes on, and the flow of life goes on. I said thank you, Creator, thank you for this glorious day. Thank you, I said thank you, Creator, and the flow of life goes on and on, and the flow of life goes on, right down the Ausable River behind my house, and up in the mountains all around me, oh, in the Adirondacks, and the flow of life goes on and on as I drove across the state, all going west, all the way to Rochester. Coming here, I cleaned my boots, got no invasive species with me, and the flow of life goes on. Sunshine. Here we go. Excellent. Thank you. Thank you. Well, Rochester, as gorgeous as it is, you're kind of the banana belt compared to Keene. Even here, you do not get roses that bloom in the winter. This song is called Rose in Winter. It's inspired by the Adirondacks and life. So a rose blooming in winter would be totally ridiculous. But I figured that is what makes it miraculous. When I was young, my heart opened to the wonders of the world, blossoming with a passion for life. broken hearts along the way led me to believe that there was only one way to survive. So I wrapped my heart in darkness, I kept it in the cold, like a tender flower stored on ice. But something strange has been happening lately. It's starting to bloom, open into its own warmth and light. My heart is blooming like a rose in winter, blossoming under a January sun. My heart is blooming like a rose in winter, fragrant though the bitter winds blow, blood red petals against the snow. My heart is blooming like a rose, like a rose in winter. Adirondacks 24 years ago, and from Albany, New York. And I was, at the time, as a professional musician, I was kind of worn out. I had no idea how the natural beauty, how the peacefulness, how they would inspire me, refresh me, rejuvenate me. Floodgates opened and music flowed through me. One of my favorite hikes, going up Owl's Head outside of Keene. I've hiked that 1,000,000 times at least, in all seasons. Another one of my favorites is the trail into the Gulf Brook lean-to, which has now been moved. So I still say I'm going into the Gulf Brook lean-to, but I only go to the clearing. Adirondacks, I hear you calling. From the mountains, across the lakes, through the pines, in rivers running, in snowflakes falling, wind whispering through the treetops. Adirondacks, I hear you call. And I come. Adirondacks, I hear you calling. In the loon's cry across the lake, in the morn, in whitetails running, coyotes howling, hawks circling above me. Adirondacks, I hear you call, and I come. Pleasure to be here. Nancy and I have been talking for maybe 2 years, just trying to find the right date when I would be here, and there was an opening. And the wonderful thing is and very funny, is that my contact, the person who set this up, is a woman who you know from here. She lives here, and then she also lives part-time in Keene Valley, and we both go to the Keene Valley Congregational Church. And that's where we met. And so I think it was actually quite amusing that Debbie Brown actually won the raffle that I picked, because she's my contact and my hostess for this evening. So many thanks to Debbie and Neil. Thank you very much. I love tracking animals. And I actually went to, I took classes in how to track animals. Because it's really easy to track your dog, because you just follow the path of destruction through the house. But tracking other animals is a little more difficult. And many years ago, my husband and I, and my husband Dennis, who's sitting over there, we owned the Keene Valley bookstore. Some of you may have been there. What a magical place that was. And I remember at one point I just pulled a book out of the shelf, and it was The Tracker by Tom Brown, who is a famous tracker, trained by a Native American. And I thought, oh, that's really interesting. And I read the book. And I thought, wow, this is fascinating. I'd love to do this. And then I discovered that he taught courses in tracking as well as all kinds of wilderness survival, primitive living skills. I wanted it all. And I was debating in my head one morning. I was like, you know, should I do it? I would take a week away from my family, you know. And I looked out my kitchen window, and right there, it was in the, must have been the spring. And the grass was still really gray and brown from the winter, and there was frost. And I looked out the window and I thought, something's different out there. And I would never have seen it if it hadn't moved. But standing out there, the same color as the grass and the frost, was a huge coyote. And it was only because he moved his head that I saw him. And I thought, oh, that's a sign. I've got to take this tracking course. So I did. Any excuse, right? And I ended up taking a number of courses. And of course, they're taught in one of the most, you know, extensive wildernesses in the United States, down in New Jersey. Well, actually, it was in the Pine Barrens, and that's a weird place. North, south, east, west, if you can't see that sun shining, it is bizarre how difficult it is to know where you are, even on the planet. So I took a number of courses, and I loved coming home and tracking, and of course sharing all my knowledge with anybody who would listen. Of course, Dennis was stuck with me. So one day I came home from walking up on the hill across from our house, and I was really excited. I said, Dennis, there's bear scat up there. There's been a bear. And the bear, and he took my word for it, because bear scat's pretty obvious. You're not going to mistake it for anything else. And I said, it's been eating apples. The bear has been eating apples. He said, well, it's probably from our tree. I said, no, this bear was eating red, delicious apples. Yeah. And he said, oh no, Martha, you are not that good a tracker. Don't tell me you went into, no. There are ways to tell. And he said, you are not that good a tracker. I said, oh, I am. Red, delicious apples. Well, then how can you tell? I said, it's pretty darn easy when the produce sticker is right in there. True story, true story. So a couple of the first people that I met this evening, their very first question to me was, are the black flies out yet? When you think of springtime, blooming flowers come to mind. Daffodils, crocuses, and tulips galore. Forsythia is brilliant gold, rhododendrons blooming bold. Magnolias are magnificent once more. But here up north, it's not the same as places south that I could name. The Adirondack spring is a season of mud. And while we're out slogging, we're furiously swatting as we are devoured by bugs. And those who can't leave do leave. The rest of us remain here to witness the miracle as springtime returns. The river is rising, black flies start biting. We do the mud season waltz. Where the snow was yesterday, there is nothing but mud today. Every year, a hiker or two sinks down without a trace. Be warned. I forgot my words there. Sinks down without a trace. The poison ivy's leafing out, thank you. Ground bees come nest again. Skunk odor perfumes the night air. And those who can't leave do leave. The rest of us remain here to witness the miracle as springtime returns. Oh, peel off notice I'm in Rochester. The rest of them are remain back there to witness the miracle. As springtime returns, the river is rising, the black flies start biting, and we do the mud season waltz. I had to bring another harp. This is a new addition to my harp family. I think many of you have read about the orphan harp, which is this beautiful hope. And this harp, her name is Grace. And I got this harp. Well, I wanted to be more mobile, because even with a harp that size, I'm not exactly mobile. That hope has not been up a mountain yet, but harps of that size have been, thanks to Dennis. And the Browns there, and not these Browns, other Browns in Keene. We have harp Sherpas in Keene now. And this harp's name is Grace. Grace in the wilderness. So I have a confession. I'm trying to, overcome this problem I have. Now, I'm sure that some of you, and the lights are down, so so nobody's going to know, but you can just raise your hand a little bit if you have done the same thing. How many of you, like myself, have climbed up a mountain in the Adirondacks? Nobody else is up there when you get there. You throw your arms out, you throw your head back, and you say, "The hills are alive with the sound of music." How many? Oh, yeah. Well, there's going to be a support group. We're going to meet on a mountaintop. But I wanted a small portable harp to take into hospitals and hospice situations, but I also wanted this harp so that I could take it into the wilderness. And Grace's first public appearance was on top of Owl's Head last fall. And we watched the weather carefully for a couple of days. It was the evening when, at the same moment that the sun was setting in the west, the full moon was rising in the east. And I kept my eye on the weather, and I'd let people know at the last minute. I said, I'm going to go up, I'm going to take the new harp up, we're going to hike up and just experience the evening. About 30 people showed up, complete with picnics and bottles of wine. It was a wonderful time. Lots of friends, and my good friend photographer Nancy Battaglia came on up, and we had a great time. But actually, this song is perfect. Hills are alive with the sound of music, with songs they have sung for 1,000 years. The hills fill my heart with the sound of music. My heart wants to sing every song it hears. My heart wants to beat like the wings of a bird that flies from the lake to the trees. My heart wants to sigh like a chime that flies from a church on a breeze, to laugh like a brook when it drips and falls over stones on its way, to sing through the night like a lark who is learning to pray. I go to the hills when my heart is lonely. I know I will hear what I've heard before. My heart will be blessed with the sound of music, and I'll sing, and I'll sing, I'll sing once more.
Thank you very much. The last summer I played at the airport in Keene Valley, and I pulled this song out. It was gorgeous. It was like being in Scotland or Ireland, because you've got the airports flat and the mountains were there, and the mist was all over. It was beautiful. And I pulled this song out, and I asked if anybody knew any more than just the first verse, because that's all I could remember, and that turned out to be all that anybody else could remember, which maybe is a good thing, because it kept it short and sweet. We still all enjoyed it. But nonetheless, the next morning I hear a knock, 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 knock at my door, and one of my neighbors has showed up, and she said, "Martha, I Googled the song and I found 17 more verses." I said, "That's great. Leave them at the door." I love to go wandering along the mountain track, and as I go, I love to sing my knapsack on my back. Now, this is not a song that I'm supposed to sing by myself. And I also happen to know that I'm positive that you all know it, or at least most of you. So, a 1, a 2, a 1, 2, 3. I love to go wandering along the mountain track. I can't hear you. But let's try it. 1, 2, ready, and. That's what I thought. Okay, now let's pretend we've got a little gusto going on here, okay? 1, 2, a 1, and ready. I love to go wandering along the mountain track, and as I go, I love to sing my knapsack on my back. Valerie, 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 my knapsack on my back. Bravo! Thank you very much, and thus ends the audience participation portion of the evening, so sweat not. I totally have lost track of time, but you're still here, so just, if you start getting, if it's almost time to go, then just start making little noises with your chairs and I'll know. That invasive species talk was fabulous. Fabulous. Terrifying, but fabulous. Oh. Adirondacks, my daughter was 4. We had lived in downtown Albany before that, her entire life, all 4 years of it. And we used to hang out on the stoop in the evening and watch people go by and talk to our neighbors and walk to the grocery store and walk down to the Empire State Plaza, because we were right above that. But my husband and I always wanted to move somewhere more rural, in the mountains. And our choices were British Columbia, New Zealand, or the Adirondacks. Well, my parents lived in Albany, and our daughter, Dennis's and my daughter, was the only grandchild. So there was no British Columbia and no New Zealand going to happen. So we moved to the Adirondacks, and we got up there. We moved in kind of late at night. We finally got things unloaded. The next morning, our daughter was just a little peanut of a thing with blonde curls and whatever. She walks outside, stands on the porch, looks that way, looks that way, and says, "So where are all the people?" Hadn't occurred to us that there might be one member of our family who might find that strange. We thought it was divine. When the living is easy, fish are jumping, cotton is high, your daddy's rich, your mama, she's good looking. Don't you cry. I've played in Rochester before about 30 years ago. I played at both U of R and RIT. And at RIT, they have the wonderful program for the hearing impaired, so teaching the sign language. And at the time, I did a jazz piece, and the woman doing all the signing was over to my side, and I couldn't keep my eyes off her. You know, it was so fascinating to me. I kept forgetting words because I'm watching her. And I got to a point in the jazz piece where I started to scat. And she's over there. And I asked her afterwards, I said, so what did you do when I did the scat? She goes, oh, I spelled it out. Whoa, fingers of fire. Oh, it was wonderful. But so this is my first time back in a long time. I guess I caused enough trouble in Rochester back then. They didn't want me back. But thank you. This has been wonderful. Such a warm welcome, and I do look forward to seeing many of your faces on a trail somewhere here or there in the High Peaks. I do have the CDs over there, as well as an email list. I send out a monthly newsletter, and very short, very sweet, let you know where I'm going to be and what's doing. And the CDs are 6 different offerings, and my husband Dennis can tell you all about them. All about them. And we have some at home, so don't feel like you have to leave any for us. It's okay. What I am doing right now, though, is this year is for the CDs are $15 a piece, and $5 from each CD sale goes to a very good friend of mine. She was for over 30 years a healer in the Adirondacks through massage therapy, but primarily through acupuncture. And some serious damage that I had to my hands, she spent several months curing. And they've been fine ever since, so 30 years anyway, or 25 years. But she now has been living for almost 5 years with stage 4 breast cancer. And there is no recovery. There is only maintenance, which is done through chemo. Her finances, of course, have run out. She can't work. And she still lives in one bed in her room of her house. And she has the most amazing spirit. She has a wonderful sense of humor. She's compassionate about people all over, just wonderful. And some of my favorite times have been in this last year, going to that one room and laughing harder than I've laughed in a long time, and crying a little bit. But $5 from each CD sale is going to my friend Mary Mead Gibbs to help her live her life. When the sun came up this morning, I took the time to watch it rise. As its beauty struck the darkness from the skies, I thought how small and unimportant all my troubles seem to be, and how lucky another day belongs to me. As the sleepy world around me woke up to greet the day, all its silent beauty seemed to say, so what, my friend, if all your dreams you haven't realized? Look around you, you got a whole new day to try. Today is mine, to do with what I will. Today is mine, my own special cup to fill. To die a little, that I might learn to live. To take from life, that I might learn to give. Today is mine.
bend, for today is the only garden we can tend. Today is mine and yours, to do with what we will. Today is mine, my own special cup to fill, to die a little, oh, that I might learn to live, to take from life, that I might learn to give. Today is mine, oh, to do with what I will. Today is mine, my own special cup to fill, to die a little, I might learn to live, to take from life, that I might learn to give, to give. Today is mine. Many thanks to Nancy, Donnie for inviting me here today, and for Debbie and Neil for arranging and helping arrange it, and for all of you for making me feel so welcome here. I'll see you in the mountains. Today is mine. Planned on that. Thank you very much. Thank you. Here we go. Two roads diverged in a yellow wood. Sorry I could not travel both, but be one travel. Long I stood and looked down one as far as I could, to where it bent in the undergrowth. Then took the other, just as fair, and having perhaps the better claim because it was grassy and wanted wear. But as for that, the passing there has worn them really about the same. Both that morning equally lay, in leaves no step had trodden black. I saved the first for another day, but knowing how way leads on to way, I doubt if I will ever go back. I shall be telling this with a sigh, somewhere